There is a huge problem going on in the country of Sudan right now, which is the third largest country in Africa. It is an issue that is not getting hardly any mainstream coverage by news outlets. For the most part, is being pretty suppressed, if we're being really honest. People are losing their lives over this, and pretty much everyone in the developed world is pretty much unaware of this. There is human rights violations being committed. There's just a regime, basically, that has the country in the palm of its hand and is just doing some very horrible shit to these people who are obviously protesting very, I would say, reasonably. These protests are mostly targeting President al-Bashir and his regime, who has ruled the nation since the year 1989. So he's had hold of this country for nearly 30 years now. Tens of thousands of protesters have taken to the streets across the nation of Sudan. At least 8 people have been killed, with dozens more injured over protests. Among the dead are university students, peaceful protesters, and many eyewitnesses have also said that there have been deaths and injuries caused to people who weren't even actually in the protest. I'm sure that this death toll of 8 or 9, as some are reporting, will definitely rise, unfortunately. Security forces have been firing against unarmed protesters, according to the witnesses who are circumventing the internet ban in the country. Multiple outlets that have reported on this have also been saying the same thing. Al-Bashir, who is the current president, the people actually regard him pretty much as a dictator head of a regime, is currently trying to amend the nation's constitution to allow himself to run for yet another term, which, like I said earlier, he and his men have been in control of this nation for nearly 30 years. It obviously seems like the people of Sudan do not want him in office anymore, so protesters have accused the government of trying to suppress their freedom of expression and beliefs with force even before these protests. Internet access has been blocked nationwide for about 2 days since December the 20th, which is seemingly confirming what protesters have said before. Senators here in the United States and Washington, D.C. are calling for the removal for his role in supporting their government, and this is a response pretty much to these events, which is really what's catching, I would say, the brunt of the coverage here in the United States, which is very self-absorbed of us and is very shameful, but it's unfortunately the truth. Very few media outlets here in the United States are actually reporting on this situation, and honestly, the media should be ashamed for their lack of coverage on this topic, considering the immense amount of human rights, civil rights, other violations and things that have been taking place, and the importance of these moments for the future of Sudan. People should be trying to bring awareness to the situation. I mean, the more that the developed world recognizes these issues, the faster we can approach a solution to the problem. We at least have to do something about the human rights violations. These people are being gunned down in the streets. These people are having their rights to freedom of speech and protest completely ripped from them, and believe it or not, these are human rights. The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights includes the right to your own things, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, the right to public detainment. These are human rights. Whether you believe so or not, they are listed as human rights, and they're things that we should be protecting. I can understand these people's perspective, as they literally are watching this government that oppresses them destroy their economy, jack all the prices of all these different goods up, you know, have fuel shortages left and right, and then kill them for exercising their human rights. This is important, guys. This is something that we as a world have to step in and try and stop. Thank you guys for watching. This is Optimus, standing with the people in Sudan, and signing out.